Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom, the major media destroys information, and religions destroy spirituality.
It's the bank runs the fucking show.
So, all right. So, just to add one more thing about the NRO, and all these like crazy patches.
Yeah.
Like, so they got in trouble because people were like, "What the fuck are you putting in orbit?" Like, it's dude, the satellites that they've been putting up since the 70s are still classified. Like, that's how deep this technology is. But so check this out: the NRO, the Hubble telescope. You know Hubble telescope.
Yeah.
So to make the mirror for that telescope, it's a giant fucking mirror in space. And the mirror has to be, it costs millions to create this mirror.
And then to lift it up into space.
Not to lift it up in space, but also to sand it. Like you like it has to be atoms perfectly flat.
Oh,
like if you have a single like 10 atoms not perfectly flat,
it's or like distorted.
It's fucked, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, like about 10 years ago or something, the NRO, don't quote me on the 10 years, but not super long ago, the NRO gave NASA 2 Hubble telescope grade mirrors because they were just lying around and they didn't need them anymore. So basically the NRO basically gave the NASA 2 Hubble telescopes.
Oh, that means they probably have so much better shit. Like, that's
exactly.
like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Right.
That is great. And NASA's budget's insane.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Like
NASA already had, or it had like a pretty good budget at one point. But like when you compare it to like black budget and CIA and off the books, it's nothing. It's crazy. Like the Pentagon was like, yo, we're missing $4 trillion, and no one even tripped about that. But they're like, yo, like, we're gonna give food stamps out to poor single mothers. What the fuck? How much is that gonna cost? $30 million a year. So it's like a few dollars a person, like $20 a person. What? Well, how much is $4 trillion a person? Oh, it's like a 10 grand per person, and including your kids. It's I don't even know what that is. It's probably fucking crazy per person. 4 trillion divided by 320 million. Like,
yeah. Right. It's like, dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
When you think about it. The fucking, I mean, that Disclosure documentary, I don't know. Yeah, I think you said you saw that.
I think so, yeah.
Well, there is a Disclosure documentary on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
And one of the things is there was a guy on there who used to be like the Secretary of Defense. Like he was like one of the head people at the Pentagon. And he was going through all these black budget like reports, and like they were all redacted and all this shit. So he gets some reports and he's like, I need to find out what the fuck this money's going to. I don't know anything about Project Bobcat and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So he calls them. The fucking Secretary of goddamn Defense or whatever fucking calls one of these locations. Like, I think he called a base in Nevada or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, hi, I'm, General, or maybe he was a general. Anyways, I don't want to fuck my story up.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm General blah, blah, blah. And they go, we know who you are. And he goes, I'm calling to get more info on Project Bobcat. What the fuck, what the fuck? I don't have any info here other than all the money you're taking. And they go, it's a need to know basis and you don't need to know.
And he's like, what?
And he's like, I'm the fucking
yeah.
I'm the one who says that.
Yeah.
What? And they were just like, that's it. Like he couldn't even go deeper on it.
Dude,
he was not allowed to.
I'm pretty sure they would say the same thing that the president called. Like, I think that's...
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Well, because the president is such a goofy role. He's there for, 4 to 8 years? That ain't shit. You know how long fucking Nancy Pelosi's been there, dog? She's been there for like 40, 50 years. Like, she's the permanent state. That's another word for the deep state. It's like these people.
Oh, permanent state. I like that.
Yeah, like these senators are part of it even. Like, because the presidents, they come and go, but there's these senators who will never go. And it's like, dog, don't you want to see your grandkids? Like, what the fuck are you doing here? That's where I'm like, did you sell your soul to the devil? And like, why are you still here? Like, why the fuck you have fucking $250 million that you made somehow while working at a job where you make $100,000 a year? It's like, what the fuck?
Where'd that fucking money come from, dude?
Yeah. And every single one of them is like that. Like, there's not, the only senators who aren't millionaires are the new ones who got this year. And it's like, they probably will be millionaires by the end of their fucking term, even if it's 2 years. Like,
Right.
Craziness.
Because first they offer you the money.
Yeah.
They're like, look, just sell out. We'll just pay you to sell out.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that, then they go after you. They go, oh, he's gay or he's a pedo.
Yeah.
Or, here's some Photoshop photos of him doing blah, blah, blah. And then finally, they kill you.
Yeah.
They'll just chop you up and put you in a bag.
Well, people made like a conspiracy that Bernie sold out because he bought he wrote a book and made a mill, so he's technically a millionaire now, right? Which is like still makes him the poorest dude in the Senate, other than the newest people, which is crazy because he's like
Right.
a single millionaire. But most people are like 10,
like
15.
a 1 millionaire.
Yeah, and it's like new money too. It's not like something that he has like from like I don't know investments or something. But he wrote this book, right? And a lot of people are like, this motherfucker sold out and like all this shit. And so he bought a second house or something. And it's like, dude, it's crazy how people will trip about something like that. And then we'll look at our lady who's in charge of public school. She'd never been inside a public school before in her life, before she got the job.
Where was this?
Here in the United States, I forget, Betsy DeVos.
Oh,
right?
okay, word.
Yeah, and so one of her yachts, like protesters fucking unhinged it from its port, and it got like $15,000 worth of damage on it, which is probably like, the paint was scratched because that's how baller her yacht. She has 10 of them, right?
Oh my god.
And it's like, what kind of person with 10 yachts is gonna? Why are they telling us how we should teach our kids? Like what?
Yeah.
She's like, we need to take money out of the public schools and give more money to the private schools. Is her solution. So it's like you give people vouchers. It's like, so you're gonna give money to schools that can profit off of us, and then vampire the fucking. But I mean, it's kind of good because I'd rather go to a school that doesn't have a fucking set curriculum. Like that shit's pretty crazy that you have to follow like the same rules of like the whole, like I don't know, even like the way you divide, like everything's so standardized here. Like in Spain it's completely different the way you do the long division, and it was quicker for me, so I was the fastest dude in my class in it in
Okay.
4th grade or whatever.
Okay.
And then I have these teachers come in who are supposed to teach us like techniques or whatever, and they're like, how the fuck are you doing it so fast? And I'm like, I do it like this. And they're like, well, that's the wrong way to do it. I don't know how you're doing it that way. I'm like, well, that's how my mom taught me how to do it. That's how they do it in Spain. They're like, well, you're gonna have to learn how to do it this way, because you're gonna lose points on your test if you show your work wrong. I'm like, it's not fucking wrong. It's
Right.
a different way, dude. And that way I thought was like quick and clever. If you see the way Koreans divide and multiply, you're like, what the fuck? It's not that they're that much better at math. It's they have better ways of doing it. It's just,
Interesting.
like,
Okay.
not even
Shit.
fair. It's like you're handicapping these fucking kids by teaching them the wrong fucking way from the beginning.
Yeah. Damn, that's interesting, dude.
It's
I'd love to
crazy.
learn more about that.
Yeah,
those methods.
and it's something you think there's only one way to multiply. There's only one way to divide. It's like, no, there's so many tricks too. Like if you think of to make it quicker and shit like that. Like just like the people that will memorize numbers, which this is something more complicated, but it's like they'll relate a number to a sound and then they'll make a story out of it. So if it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like the 5 is a snake, the 6 is a I don't know, a pie, and it'll be like a snake went in the pie and went through a stream, and that way they're able to remember like a string of like 150 numbers or something crazy.
Oh, yeah, like
Yeah.
those types of
Where
people.
our brain
yeah.
is only structured to remember 7 at most. So like unless you convert it into an image, you can't like fucking remember it. But we're never taught any of that shit. Like we're just taught how to do basic shit so we can
Yeah.
work at the assembly line.
Dude, I remember shit by the sound.
Yeah.
So like because you're right. Like after 7 or 8 numbers, trying to just remember the numbers is hard. But like
Yeah.
I remember the sound of me saying the numbers or me hearing the numbers, and then
Dude, that's like I think. Oh yeah, continue.
and then like no, but then like I'll be able to get to like maybe 10
Yeah.
or whatever if I'm lucky.
That's an interesting way to do it though, because it's weird. Because I think your brain in general has been tuned more to sounds. Because you'll
For
pick
sure,
shit up
yeah.
on a recording, and I won't even notice it. You're like, why is it echoing and shit? And I'm like, what? I don't even know it's
Oh,
echoing.
yeah.
And I'll look at the file and I'm like, oh, because I layered it twice. Like I couldn't tell by listening to it why it was echoing or like that it was. I had to go look on my computer and be like, oh, okay. And then you're like, why is it repeating? I'm like, it's repeating. And I'm like, oh, because I chopped a bit and I fucking looped it instead of fucking leaving the whole file and chopping the end off. At the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I couldn't hear that weirdly. And it's like for you, it stuck out like a probably instantly or something. Like, you're like,
sure,
what the fuck, an echo? Where'd this come from? I'm like, what? I listened to both versions. I don't even fucking tell.
Phil was like that too.
Yeah.
He would listen to something and he would hear like little sounds that I wouldn't even hear.
Yeah.
And he'd like start cracking up because it was like a funny sound, and I'd be like,
What are you talking about?
I'd listen to the song again at home and be like, oh, fucking damn, bro.
That's a cool thing. That's like, it shows how different the perspective on the like we're all seeing shit, but it's all different. Like no matter how I see it, even my memory is different. So if we both experience something like 2 weeks later, we could remember it completely differently.
Word, yeah. Totally.
So crazy.
Fuck, man.
But it's cool that way, I guess. Like if it was robotic, then all this shit would suck. Like if you knew what the fuck you were gonna remember exactly how you were gonna remember it, I feel like we would just be a computer at that point.
Right.
Like all this random generation is like kind of tight.
Yeah,
It's almost
totally.
what you'd want even in a video game, like to keep it fresh. Like
For sure. Because, yeah, dude, like, think about, man, if everything was perfect, like, it wouldn't be. There's no such thing as perfect. Like, you're right. This randomness that gets added and, like, makes us all different is part of the fun.
Yeah, I feel like fun isn't even a state of being. Fun is like a growth almost. Like, and you can't grow exponentially. You can't grow forever, like they expect businesses to.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a crazy model. It's like you need to grow exponentially or infinitely on a planet with finite resources. Figure it out. It's like, all right, unless you focusing on going to space that are like capturing asteroids or something, then you gotta restructure this fucking system.
And that never works.
Yeah.
Like, well,
yeah.
rarely.
Well, yeah, you just end up with a cult. A different version of a cult. That's how power always ends up. It's crazy. Unless you have a small enough group where it's like, but then it's still a cult.
Yeah.
And then once you get into that shit, I guess like you build your own walls, and it's not even physical, it's ideological. Like you have to have these rules to make it work. And then it's like, wait a sec, now I just built a pen that I just broke out of a pen to hop into a different pen of rules, even though they might be like my own rules. But I mean, I wouldn't know till I experienced it.
Yeah, for sure.
But everyone thinks like, yo, I could just SimCity this and do great. But it's like, dog, try playing SimCity on hard. That shit is hard.
Yeah, dude, Diablo 2 hardcore.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
When you're done, you're done.
Yeah. But I almost feel like it's like that, but there's like handicaps almost, because like so many like near death or like crazy things or just like things that could that kill people randomly. Like some dude drinks for the first time and like dies, or like some dude like gets an allergic reaction to some shit. It's like, fuck, dude, that would have been a shitty game. Was that even was that an NPC or like? I hope it was like.
Yeah, right.
Like especially if it's completely out of your control. But I guess that makes the game even more fun if it is like that. It's like, dude.
But only if you make it out the other side alive.
Yeah. Or if there's a restart button. Yeah.
Like, it would be badass to get shot and survive and be like, yo, I got shot.
Yeah.
But, like, what if it hits your spine or
Well,
you don't live?
Oh, that's what I'm like saying. Like, I feel like that's like some people have a handicap where it's like you're gonna like, and they say that like, oh, God wanted you to live, or like they have a purpose, and it's like your purpose is you're playing and you're not an NPC. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a whole thing. Like, fucking who's that guy who got shot 9 times? 50 Cent got shot 9 times, dude. Laying in dirty ass asphalt for like 30 minutes before the ambulance got there. Like people die from like
And he beasted that.
cutting their toe open and bleeding out. Like
For
like,
sure.
people like bleed out is so much quicker without having 9 holes in them. Like
Dude, yeah. And it's like the people who smoke a pack a day and live to be 90.
Yeah.
And the people who are healthy their whole lives and get
that's
Walter
what
White cancer
at least I hope
60.
the rules are like that. But then I feel like with everyone's like, I eat 1 piece of chocolate and become fat, and I'm like, yo, shit, that might. No, it's like a fuck.
You need to increase your metabolism stats.
Yeah.
Next time you level up, put plus points on that.
Yeah.
What if
guess-
every time you had a birthday, it was a level
What
up?
if you just mind over matter that shit? You're like,
Some-
cells fucking metabolize.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's this one fucking book I read in elementary school.
Yeah.
I think it was called The Mask. And it was about, so it's this fucking dude. He lives in the future where everybody wears just like a, you know, the Jabberwockies?
Yeah, yeah.
Like a mask like that.
oh,
so
like,
you
almost
can't.
like a poker, like Jabberwocky, so no one can see what the fuck you're thinking.
Yeah, or like the yeah. So nobody can see your facial expressions, and everyone's the same. It's not even communism. It's like some futuristic, like everyone's the same. They're all part of the system. No art, no emotion is allowed, whatever. And this guy's like misbehaving. He took his mask off or something, or he was like doing some bullshit. So they put him in this machine, and next thing you know, the rest of the book is a book written as though it was taking place in Poland during like the Holocaust.
Oh, what?
And he basically gets inserted into the life of a Jewish guy during the
What the
Holocaust.
fuck?
And that's like basically the whole book. And then he experiences all this trauma and suffering, and then he dies or whatever. And then he wakes back up into the future, and they're like, that's why art and emotions is bad, because it leads to shit like shit
that's
like
what
the
Earth
Holocaust.
is. Earth is your timeout box, or like your
Right.
your reprogramming.
For sure.
So, you
That's
know,
exactly
Your
yeah.
parents like, you're going to boot camp, son. It's like, oh, we all got sent to boot camp. That's why we're here. Like, but that's like, what would the lesson be? Would that really be the lesson we got from here? Unless you were in unless that was your, like, if you're in fucking.
Yeah, like what would the, so you're saying like what would the lesson be?
Yeah, from
That we're
our
learning right
experience here, yeah.
I
At least
don't
like
know.
from your experience, because everyone's is different. But it's like, what the fuck? I don't know.
Right.
Because it's not like the world teaches you to like, if it like, it's not pushing you in a direction of doing good to benefit you or nothing, or like to do certain, to play by the rules. It's almost like teaching you the opposite. It's almost like a con college, where like, why would they have a world where it's easier to get by doing some fucking sketchy shit than by just doing some like just planting some shit in your yard or something? I don't know, like honest
Yeah.
day's work or whatever. Like instead you gotta like manipulate some old people into buying health insurance or like doing some fucked up shit. Like, what is this training us for? Like being
Well, in
Numb
the
or something?
book, he was the only real character. Everyone else was an NPC.
yeah.
So like, if you were going through this, I would be fake. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be real. You know, I'd just be part of the program.
What the fuck would it be for? It's
Well,
like,
yeah. What would be your journey, man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, what if I learned so far that would be my, I don't know, change my perspective on shit?
Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
Like, I know I would want a time machine to redo this, which is not something you would normally want in your punishment, right?
What do you mean?
Like, if you had a reset button on your jail sentence, you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I want to start over, right? And Earth, dude, and fucking hella people would be like, yeah, I want to start over and do it better, like, and know what I should do. I mean, maybe, no one would want, they'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I'd rather just be out of fucking jail, like, yeah.
Are you saying?
But maybe
Yeah.
it's so dank outside of here that we just don't realize it. But that's weird. I don't know.
Are you saying like what it like? You can go back and do it again, knowing you can do it better, or just like
Yeah.
okay,
Like, there'd be really no purpose in jail because there's no, like, growth really to be at, or no, like...
yeah. Oh, right.
No fucking... It's like, I'd just rather be out of here. Like, even if I could rewind my time, be this, like, go back to that age, not have to fucking redo it in actual time, like, I still wouldn't want to do it. But in here, I'd be like, yeah, dude, fucking... There's so many things I could go back using my knowledge now and do better, and that's not something you think you'd want in a jail, unless this is a greatly designed jail like they do in the Netherlands. Because in the Netherlands, the jails are like dope. Like, sometimes if you're homeless and you go to the jail, like, it's a step up.
Yeah. They have like fucking
But they still have low recidivism
table
rates.
tennis and shit.
Yeah, but they still have people going in there, like, coming back less often than we do here at our fucking shitty jails. So that might be the key. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make the jail nice, but you still learn a lesson there. Like, nice enough. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, if it's super bad, you get used to bad. So if you taste the nectar and they fucking steal the nectar from you, it hurts worse than if you ever tasted the nectar to begin with, you know?
Yeah.
Or if you get on the cocaine and then they take it away, it hurts a lot more than if you never did the cocaine.
Well, they're gonna have to stop arresting people for dime bags
Yeah.
because there's so many people in the system for bullshit, and it's like, I would love to have, if we cut all the bullshit out of prison and just had the real people who should be there, the real criminals.
Yeah.
I would totally be down to throw some money in and get those nice Norwegian type prisons made, you know?
Well, the reason that this goes down the way it is because it's profitable to have someone in prison. It's crazy. Even if you throw a homeless person, it's like 32 grand a year, 36 grand a year to imprison them. It'd be cheaper to give them a job. A government job. Like, you could pay them to go build a fucking road by hand, and it would be cheaper. You could pay them to fucking do, and that'd be better than most. That'd be like what average, a pretty average fucking salary for one person.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah, it's
family,
not too bad.
Yeah, that family average is like 40 something. So if each were making 32, dude, they'd be above average.
I mean, shit, especially as like a guaranteed, like,
Yeah.
you know, don't go to jail.
Like they used to have public
this
work
dope.
programs like build the fucking Hoover Dam, dog. If you show up, you get a fucking helmet and a job. Like no questions asked. Like if you're shitty at certain things, they'll just move you to another spot. Like
Well, fuck, either I was talking to you about this or I saw this in something. I mean, maybe it was on YouTube, but after slavery was getting rid of, they added that amendment that said slavery is only legal if you're
in jail.
in jail.
Yeah.
And so they just started making laws to arrest black people.
Yep.
And then they just made them fucking slaves again.
Yeah, and it's cheaper because slaves like you have to house them on your own dollar. When you put them in jail, the government pays them to fucking be housed and fed.
Oh, yeah, that's
But
genius.
the private company gets the profit off of them. So like if
genius.
you own slaves as Nestle, you fucking have to pay for their food, their medicine, like you have to deal with their infighting, all this stuff that you don't have to deal with. You motherfucking dog, stop playing around.
Kaya's being chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's like, I don't know.
Sit, flop, boop. It's a profit motive for certain things. It's like it just makes it. It's a motive to corrupt. Like say to make a cell phone, the profit motive is to innovate. If you want a profit motive in healthcare, you would think, hey, to innovate would be the biggest profit thing. Nah, the biggest profit thing is to take something already made and jack up the price.
Yeah.
It's like it's corporate restructuring, not innovation. What is the biggest profit maker there, which is fucked.
Dude, I can relate to that. Fuck. I keep hitting the mic with my foot. I got this like face cream to help with like inflammation or whatever.
Yeah.
And it lasts. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that would help. I actually have not tried that.
It's one of the best natural anti-inflammatory. Is that and like turmeric?
And it was with insurance. It was like $80 a tube, but it was worth it because it's the only shit that worked. And also, you know, it lasted like 5 months.
Yeah.
So $80 for 5 months is dope. Like that's nothing. So the company that owned that patent for that drug and that tube of cream or whatever, because it was a prescription thing, they sold the patent to a pharmaceutical company, quote unquote, meaning it's just a little office that owns patents for drugs. They don't actually make drugs or design drugs.
Yeah.
And they jacked the price up to $9,000 a tube. So I got a prescription and I go down and they're like, yeah, there's been an error processing this. And I was like, why? She's like, well, it's like $9,300. And like, come on.
1, 2.
And I was like, oh, fuck me. I'm not going to pay that. And I was like, is that with the insurance? And she's like, yeah.
That's great for the CBD market, though, dude, because people complain that CBDs are expensive, which they are, but comparative to prescriptions, they're dirt cheap. Like, $80 would be 1,000 milligram of CBD cream, and that's potent shit.
Right,
Like, the active ingredient in that cream, I bet, was like 5 mg of Sesoflavonoid or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I get best it's probably cortisol or something for if it's inflammation. Yeah.
Right.
But it's like CBD is cortisol without the negative side effect on your stomach. But I guess if it's topically used, you don't probably have that side effect from the cortisol.
Right. No. Yeah, there's no
Side effects, really.
Side effects. Yeah, it's just it's like, what, dude?
Yeah.
Are you even allowed to do that? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess they are, but they shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's vulture capitalism. They use it for a lot of different industries, and once it comes in, it makes it unaffordable and ludicrous. It happens to the housing market. It happens to like a lot of shit.
For sure.
Like fools will come up and buy up a bunch of shit and like raise up the rents, and then fucking artificially fuck up the inventory or whatever. So they can jack up the prices even more. Sell all that shit, let it crash when all the individual homeowners own it, and then they fucking scoop all that shit up for pennies on the dollar and do it again.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
It's like if you can wait 8 years, you can make so much money off of that shit.
Dude, those Enron fools all banked out.
Oh yeah,
And
golden parachuted up.
there's a documentary on it called The Smartest Guys in the Room.
Yeah.
And like they did something along the lines of like they were shutting down power plants on purpose, but claiming it was like not on purpose. Like they were blatantly doing some
In
fucked up
California,
shit.
just to jack up the price.
Yeah. Like they were just straight fucking people. And then like there's a bunch of mysterious characters who like disappeared. Like they before Enron even officially crashed, they were like, all right, cool, I'm off the boat, and they just like disappeared to Canada with like 80 million.
Oh yeah.
And shit like that.
Well, that's what we have. We have an international trade of sketchy people. So like, it's crazy. Like if you look at the people in the United States who've done assassinations, like Robert Kennedy, the dude who assassinated him, they said was this guy. He has like a famous name like Skromorsi or some like Polish or German name. But that guy was in front of him, right? And his bodyguard that was behind him, right? And the bodyguard moved to the Philippines with like millions of dollars somehow that he randomly acquired right afterwards.
Oh.
And he's been living there for the rest of his life, and he just died recently. And
That's
you
interesting.
guess where Robert Kennedy got shot? Right behind the ear from like the side. Right? So it's like someone holding a gun from behind you and shooting you in the head. But the guy they said shot him was in front of him from like 10 yards away in a kitchen. So it was like the fucking his own bodyguard, which they switched out last minute right before he was about to win the senator for California. They're like, nope, fuck you. All you Kennedys is done.
Yeah.
Like y'all did something fucked. I don't know who they fucked with, but they fucked with someone.
They fucked the wrong daughter
Yeah.
of some powerful motherfucker.
But it's weird because they were intertwined with that shit. Like they were completely intertwined. It's like they're stepping on their fucking contemporaries, not even like people of a different class.
You know, man, like I feel like the world will never know.
Yeah.
All those meetings happen behind closed doors, and I'm sure
It's crazy.
hundreds
That's like
of people are
basically proven
assassinated.
both were like hella sketchy. Like assassinations.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude.
That guy moving to the Philippines is like, that's where American assassins go on the reg, and like they'll fucking live out their life and shit. But in China, they come here once they fucking do some shit. So like we'll have like all these Chinese international bankers and Chinese like all crazy positions and shit, and they'll fucking hide a bunch of money overseas, and once they get enough, they'll come here to the United States and buy a visa for $500K, which is crazy
wow.
that we allow that shit.
That's fucked.
Yeah. So we're just harboring like a bunch of the shittiest. It's funny that we're like, Mexico sends its rapists and all these fucking people, and it's like, dude, they were literally like too poor to rape.
Yeah.
Or, like they're like women and children who are literally running away from like drug cartels, and then these Chinese people who come in after fucking doing a Ponzi scheme to get all their money, and we're like, yeah, dude, he's cool.
Well, I like
Ponzi schemes are great.
I like what you said earlier, like that Trump was the other side's Obama.
Yeah.
Because it's funny that it's all this like anti-Mexican shit, but all these like you're saying, all these Chinese fucking
Yeah.
crazy bankers who fucking are in trouble.
Russian oligarchs. Have you ever been to
It's like, and
nice
we don't
parts-
care about them.
Have you been to La Jolla recently? It's
No.
all Chinese and Russian. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Really?
Yeah. But not that many Russian. Like, it's definitely a lot more Chinese. But I don't... Like, it's like, and then they try and tie fucking Trump to Russia. It's like, that was Hillary's issue from the beginning. Like, when they polled, pre-polling, that's what they use, all that shit. They use all these polling groups and shit for the Democratic Party. They said her biggest weakness was the fact that she agreed to sell 25% of the United States uranium reserves to Uranium One, and then they sold it to Russia. So it was like, she approved that shit, and she was the one who fucking greenlighted that shit. And so it's like, why are you selling fucking uranium to Russia? And they're like, oh, well, Trump might have peed on some hookers, or hookers peed on him in Russia. It's like, what? Who cares about hookers? Let's talk about the uranium, dog. No. Pee-pee, dog. Pee-pee. Oh, okay, fuck it. Let's talk about the pee-pee then. It's like, dude, they really like hang like the most retarded shit on like a carrot on a stick for people. It's like Kardashian type quality gossip.
It completely is, man, and it's all about this new fucking paradigm that they've created, and I'm sure it started ages ago, but like I want to say officially, like with Bush, where they just say whatever.
Well, that's what a lot of people say after 9/11. Like the world was like completely different for a lot of reasons, like the way the NSA and like the way the Patriot Act locked down on shit. But I feel like even before then, like fucking everything Bill Clinton did was fucked.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everything he did.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he did that would have gotten him in trouble to the point where they fucking planted that Monica Lewinsky shit on him. Because that shit is so hilarious when a guy breaks it down to you. He's like, okay, what kind of girl keeps a dress and doesn't clean it for 6 months with skeet on it? Like, what? Or like some crazy thing. Like there's a bunch of weird
holes. Really?
Yeah. Like any of these stories in the media, it's like, if it's how they told you, it's definitely not how it is. Like
exactly, yeah.
It's so crazy.
It gets filtered and fucking. Not to mention every major media outlet has like CIA people working.
Oh
there.
yeah, Anderson Cooper, CIA.
Yeah.
He's a Vanderbilt also.
Yeah, yeah.
He's CIA and fucking elite. Like, what the fuck,
dude? He is. Yeah. I'm wondering what the rest of those people in that family are doing. If he's so open about that shit,
dude.
Damn.
One of my favorite fucking comedians was making a joke like about there's like 3 people that got fired from MSNBC for being against the Iraq War because they were like, no, that's not a good look for us right now, even though none of the channels were against it at the time when it was like first going up, the Iraq War, right? And he makes a joke like, oh yeah, now if you want to see any of these reporters, you can see them reporting on their cell phone from like a fucking hair salon, because that's the only place they'll be able to get up publicly, because not one news station will have them after they were like anti-Iraq war and they were the main host. It's not like they were like a pundit. But it's crazy because you'll be watching news and they'll be like talking about how we need to invade Iran, and the guy who will be the pundit, they'll just be like, oh, he's a Republican strategist or a Democratic analyst or something. It's like, that's not their real job. That fool works for Raytheon. Like, why don't you mention that he's like the vice president at Raytheon? Like, what the fuck?
And he's like, about to make millions of dollars.
His stock's going up 30% after this interview, dude. Like, and there's people who that's all they do. Like Warren Buffett and these guys will go and they'll make comments like, oh, what I say will affect the stock. Like, I could crash the stock market by making just an offhand statement about a company or some shit. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? So much control.
Yeah, for real. Dude, I mean, Raytheon's up there, man.
Yeah.
They're like near the top.
Yeah.
Of that food chain, for sure.
Pyramid of control, dude. How do I get a job there?
That's the good question, dude. How do you even get into that shit?
Oh,
man?
They do crazy background checks. I know, like, shit. They check your whole family, too. It's like, that's like some shit like a fucking cartel member would ask you for. Like, so where does your son go to school? All right. Like, what time does he get off? Okay. Well, just know if you fuck up, I know where your son goes to school. It's like,
I mean, fuck? Dude, I believe that's part of it. Yeah. No, definitely. They need it. I mean, you're gonna give them that information willingly. Yeah. Fucking, that shit can be intense, dude. Yeah. Like, damn.
But another thing they do too, like they have daughters of the elite go on, and so it'll help them be one step removed from the agenda. So like they'll be spitting something that you'll be like, what the fuck? Like why are they saying that? Like they had a girl going up saying like, oh, we Venezuelans, blah, 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 blah. She'd never been to Venezuela, but her dad was Venezuelan. And she's like,
Okay.
we had to flee because of Castro or Maduro or Castro or something. And they, in 1980, she mentioned the date too, which is hilarious because that was like 9 years before that guy even... Because you know how rich people always say that here? Like, dog, if you raise our taxes, we're just going to leave. Like, it's like, okay. Leave then, dog. We'll have there's 10 other businesses here that are willing to fucking pay the tax. That just means they're stronger and they're producing a better product if they're able to weather these fees. Like, they have a better business model. And they're like, no. I'm so good. You guys need me here to the point you need to pay me to be here because I'm omnipotent, right? I don't give you health care, but dog, you know, I'm good. I'm that good.
Yeah.
And if I'm not here, you're going to starve. It's like, we're starving already. Yeah, but dog... But dog, it's like, no, it's no, Cartman. Get the fuck out of here. Go.
Well, yeah, man.
It's like rich people are like Cartman all the time. It's like, they're like, oh, what? If I have to compete on an even plane, then I'm just going to leave. It's like, that's what you're complaining. You're like, oh, okay, so you're complaining Mexicans are leaving Mexico because of drug cartels, but you're going to leave here because of taxes. You're gonna go fucking immigrate on someone? Are you? What about the people in the other country? They're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? We don't want this fucking fool who doesn't carry his own weight, right? This freeloader, you ain't paying your own rate.
Yeah.
You ain't paying your share, bro. Like that's a completely using their own terminology against them. Like, dog, you're gonna come to my country and not pay tax? Nah, then fuck you. Get out of here.
Right.
Like we can't have no freeloaders here. You want to use these roads, dog? But here it's the opposite. It's like, whoa, you got fucking, you're gonna offer 10,000 jobs. We'll give you $2 billion in subsidies.
Right.
And we'll build the road up to your thing for free. We'll put some lights on it. We'll pay the electricity, dog. Don't worry.
You can
Like
pay-
what? 10,000 jobs? That ain't worth shit. Dude.
They pay everybody minimum wage.
Yeah. It's like,
No health benefits.
We'll have 10,000 jobs for 2 years, and then next year we'll have 8,000. Then next year we'll have 4, and then we'll have 10. It's like, what? Oh yeah, we're automating this shit.
Right.
With all these deductions you gave us, that's how we're gonna destroy all the mom and pops, bro.
Dude, they're crushing on those mom and pops.
Dude, they did it to the weed game in like 2 years. Like you're like, oh, these people have been doing it for hundreds of years. We ain't scared of these fucking big companies. Oh, boom. License $100K to fucking start growing. Oh, shit. Okay, let me give you $100K. You didn't get approved, bro. What? Yeah, $100K is gone. But all that weed you have there, you either cut it down or you compensate your property. It's like you can have 6 plants. That's it, bro.
That's so whack.
Yeah, it's like you've been growing on this fucking land for 100 years, dog, and they just did that like the most un-American shit ever to you. Like you can't grow this shit. And it's funny too, because the same people who are like, oh, fucking all these regulations are the same people who benefit off the fucking regulation. Like they're like, I don't want regulations where I want to be able to dump my chemicals right into the water. But it's like, okay, what about the regulations where it's $100,000 for a license? No, keep that shit. Keep that shit. We need that shit here. Why? Because that means no one else is gonna start a business doing this. Like the only one who could start it is we could start another one to pretend to compete with ourselves. Like
Yeah. And then where does that $100,000 go? To the Weed Commission of California,
yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
You know they blew that shit on hookers and blow.
Yeah. Straight up. Well, that's how you get it too. Like you go to the commissioner and you fucking be like, yo, like what are you doing this weekend? You want to come out to my winery down here? Like, I'm gonna have a bunch of 16-year-olds and, I mean, whatever. I mean, I said 18, but, whatever you want. And like that fucking hotel shit, that hotels thing.
Oh.
It's like that
yeah.
shit is probably rampant. It's like if that hotel is fucking covering shit up for people, like, what the fuck?
And he was so, like
it happens on the red.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Dude, there's like a movie about like a hotel, like hotel something, and it's all about criminals use it. So like it's a free zone for criminals where you can't fight each other, but while you're there, like there's a doctor and like all this dope ass shit that you have access to. But it's like a green zone, no fighting or whatever there, and like the cops can't find it or nothing. I'm like, dude, those fucking exist, and it's called rich people's houses, or like fucking like the Hamptons and like Malibu and shit, because you could just disappear there and fucking never be fucked with ever.
Right, yeah.
Like, you could be in one corner of Michael Jackson's 182 fucking building complex or whatever, and no one would ever fucking know.
Yeah, no, totally,
Like,
dude.
he could bury 1,000 people on his property.
Yeah, fucking. Like, they have this shit down to a science, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, they can get around anybody knowing a shit about it. Yeah, like, if they're smart, dude. Dude, have you heard of the conspiracy, the Eliza conspiracy?
No.
There's this hotel, and I didn't. This is random as fuck, so I didn't research it. I researched it a grip back in the day.
Yeah.
I wish I remember the hotel, but I'll remember it for the next episode. There's a hotel in LA that's like notorious for weird shit happening or like deaths happening there and shit
Yeah.
like that. Sketchy ass kind of hotel.
I've heard a bunch of like ones like this kind of actually.
And there was this Canadian Chinese chick, I believe, named Eliza something.
Is there a documentary about her?
I don't know. If there is, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And so she was
the
doing
elevator.
Yeah, in the elevator.
Oh,
and she was doing stories before she stayed there for a night. She was doing stories about new types of active camouflage. So basically,
That's what she
invisibility.
was doing?
Invisibility cloaks.
What the?
She made multiple posts online on her blog or on her Twitter or whatever, saying
I would
like,
never be a real journalist.
Look
Fuck that
at
shit.
this shit. So she stays at this hotel for I don't know why she decided to stay there, but she did, and then all the footage they have is her in the elevator and like in the hallway,
Like pressing all the buttons. and
pressing
shit.
the buttons and tripping out, and she was looking around like there was something there or someone there.
Yeah.
And the other trippy part is the time footage. There's like 45 minutes missing, and the LAPD were the ones to get that and release it. And people were like, "Hey, why is there 45 minutes
Dude,
missing?"
what's up with that? The police always cover
and
like tracks like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
And the police were like, fuck off. Like, we have no answer for you."
oh, dude, there was a good interview with a cop explaining why they did that, but I don't remember it enough to explain it. But that shit blew my mind. It's like
Why
like,
they do what?
like how they cover shit up and like
Oh, okay.
like he'd be like, oh, the mayor told me like blah blah, and I thought it was kind of weird at the time. Now thinking back on it, it's really weird, and that's probably like pedophiles. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, just think about it now. Like I didn't think about it at the time. It's like, what? Is it what? What's there's a lie somewhere here.
Yeah.
Like this don't make sense.
Right. Yeah. So then she like trips out. Looks like that she's either freaking out on drugs or like schizophrenia.
I've seen that on YouTube. It
Or
tripped me
whatever.
the fuck out. Like
It's
just
kinda
seeing her
freaky.
like pressing all the buttons and like looking at an empty hallway and like
Yeah. And then the next thing is she winds up dead in the water tank up at the top of the roof.
oh yeah, and they find her a few days later because it smelled or something.
Yeah, like yeah, right. I forgot exactly. Yeah, but something like that.
Yeah.
It was fucking up the water or something. And
Or it tasted bad. Yeah. Oh, it tasted bad. That's what it was. Oh.
So then there's one other trippy aspect to the story. There's a company which was actually at a point, it may still be listed on Google as existing at that location, and it was called Something Lights and Magic. And if you like look into the company, they're like there's some shady shit going
Oh
on with that
my
company.
god.
Like to the point where they're deep in
They're like
into some shit.
some comic ping pong type shit. Or
And like yeah, so
Yes.
like there's theories that like they were involved in that
Oh
shit.
my God.
And it's like some sort of front for like MK Ultra type shit,
yeah,
or who knows?
Like a Nexium cult. Have you heard of like Nexium cult and all that shit?
Is that the one where they brand people?
I think so, and it's like a weird sex cult, and like they'll have like girls go recruit bitches. But that's how it works with all of them, dude. Like Jeffrey Epstein, he would hire girls, pay them a bunch of money. This shows you money like buys anything. And they'll be like misogynistic assholes. Like, okay, well, that's true, but he paid a woman to fucking harvest these bitches for him. What does that make her? Like, she's like, what the fuck?
She's fucked.
Yeah, like she's going around knowing well off what he's doing. He always would go off and offer bitches like, oh, I need a traveling masseuse, and they'd be like 16 and shit. He'd be like, yeah, you can come to like Italy and fucking France and shit with me, and I just need massages, bro. And it's like, okay, that's definitely not what you need, bro. But
Oh yeah.
and this girl would like call people's like parents and like arrange shit, buy the tickets, and like get them the hotel room together and like stay in the like down the way and shit. I'm like, what the these bitches are organizing this shit for? I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. Well, and dude, don't discount too what kind of fucking parent
Yeah.
like even allows some shit like that to go down with
Yeah.
their child, you know?
But I feel like there's a like surprising amount of that shit, or like
There it is, yeah,
like
yeah.
I heard like in between the elites to like trade their kids like Pokemon cards. It's like that's like
Oh,
they don't give a
shit.
fuck about their kids. Like they're completely different. I think part of like I don't know Illuminati or some shit is like you're supposed to raise a puppy or like Freemason or one of these things, and at the last day you're supposed to kill the dog, and if you don't kill it, you're out.
Yeah, it's some like samurai shit.
Yeah, or
sure.
some like fucking secret agent training to make sure that you don't get attached to nothing. Like not
Yeah.
even your own kids or your like even your wife or whatever. Like they're supposed to be like vessels of serving servitude. It's like what the fuck? So I get all this power and money so I can serve some other motherfucker that we don't even know who it is. But like
Uh-huh.
like these fools aren't happy. Like they aren't having like Trump was happier before he got involved with all this shit. Like the Hillary and shit. Like what
I
the
bet,
fuck? Like
yeah.
how are they having any fun with this? Like there's nothing,
They can't, yeah.
and it's not like they have a message and something they want to do really bad.
Well, either they're fucking 16-year-olds on the side and having
Yeah.
fun that way, or they're not having fun.
yeah,
you know,
and they're just
like-
on like hella like Zoloft and just like oh Corey, this is what I'm supposed to do, I guess.
Dude, I mean, I can't vouch and say whether any of our past presidents have been real ass motherfuckers. But if I was a real motherfucker and I became president, and I realized how little power I actually have, and like you were talking about the permanent structure,
Yeah.
and I realized all that, I'd get depressed.
I think
I'd be like, all right, you know what? Just get me 25 hookers,
yeah.
a mountain of blow, and an N64.
Yeah.
I'll bring my homies over, and for 4 years we'll just play Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
don't even worry about me.
the fact that none of the presidents were assassinated show that I think they've locked down the process. Like everyone is a mentoring
Yeah.
candidate. Like before they kind of would roll the dice with it, I feel, and they didn't have it completely locked down. Or if they did, like JFK, if you look at him on paper, he's an oligarch. Like his family is rich as fuck. They're part of
Totally.
all the same groups. Like they do all this shit. Their family is involved with the mob. So it's like, okay, perfect. Like we already have dirt on him. He's gonna be a perfect puppet and do what we want him to. And somehow he fucking went rogue. Like maybe he's like, I'm president. I could fucking get away with this shit. I can finally
Maybe.
break free from this like chains or some shit. Like it'd be like us trying to like quit from our job, you know, but instead of him quitting, he got murked. He's like, nah, I ain't doing it your way no more. I'm president. I'm gonna do it my way.
He could have been like a fucking Bruce Wayne or Bruce Wayne's dad, like just a fucking a royalty who happened to care.
Oh, like Princess Diana, yeah.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
Diana or something. Yeah,
Yeah, she
like,
got murked too.
Yo, right? Isn't that funny how
Yeah.
once
The only
powerful
royal
people
family
talk
lady
about
to like
caring.
give a fuck about anything. She's like caring about poor and like healthcare and shit. And the queen's like, what the fuck? I drink baby blood. Like, I'll marinate myself in that shit.
Yeah. Like, yeah, for sure, dude. Fuck, man.
And the princes have all been on the island. The fucking apparently allegedly, I think they've been on the Epstein Island.
Oh, yeah.
Which is crazy because I've been listening to like older podcasts, like the older, like even like Crowley ones, and they'd be talking about from like 2 or 3 years ago, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Epstein on his rape island," and it's like back then people were like, "You fucking conspiracy theorist! He's just a rich man, and he earned that money. He bought an island. He likes massages. Okay, why are you gonna put this?
He
on
likes
him?
massages.
You don't have
I'm gonna
anything better
remember
to
that
do?
shit.
Like, what the fuck? He's an honest... You know how many people he employs? Come on, dude. Like, he's an honest American... That's the American dream. Don't you want that, bro? And it's like... Now it's like... Oh, no. We knew he was fucked, too. It's like, what? What?
Yeah.
I thought that was a conspiracy theory, dude. The same with the fucking weather manipulation. They're like, yeah, dude, that's you all crazy. That's some chemtrail shit. Now they're like, yeah, dude, we cloud seed all the time, and we use fucking
Right.
aluminum particles for the Chinese Olympics. Like, y'all didn't know that? It's normal. What?
Yeah.
But like 3 years ago, it's like, you conspiracy motherfuckers. And it's like, dude, what?
I mean, dude, they've done a great job of like just
Changing the
scattering
narrative,
information,
too.
just changing the narrative.
It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
girlfriend, dude. It's like, oh, what? Like, let me flip it. No matter what, I pissed on you in the floor. Well, you shouldn't have put the floor there. It's like, oh, what? And they'll just hit you with that enough times that, like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have put the floor there. Am I fucking bad? Shit. That's what I
Yeah.
get. I piss on me again, I guess. Like,
I mean, fuck, dude. I was into like deep into some conspiracy,
yeah.
like forums and stuff, like around that time, like
Yeah.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, and dude, people were talking about him then, and they were talking about his links to Bill Clinton
Yep.
and all this shit,
Yep.
and it's like, yeah, it's like, dude, and people don't go, oh wow, you know what? I did call that a conspiracy before. Maybe I should not be so quick to judge
They
shit.
completely brush it under the thing, and they're like, oh yeah, well, this is new, and the blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm not even gonna fucking entertain the fact, like, that this has been known. Like, that Weinstein shit was known for, like, ever. Like, you can hear comedians making jokes like, oh, don't go back with Weinstein. It's like, what? This is 10 years before the fucking, like, other allegations came out. And he had a fucking thing in his contract for 75 mil or something like that. So if he got sexual assault charges, they had 75 mil saved to handle those cases. That was part of his
Oof.
contract.
Gnarly, dude.
Yeah. It's like, dude.
Can you believe having a company put up $75 million in case you rape
Dude,
someone?
right?
What,
Like,
dude?
dude, what the fuck do you have to do other than, like, fucking rape hell people and provide fucking sex slaves to people to get that kind of job?
You know, Steven Seagal had Russian sex slaves.
Oh, I bet. That fool is fucking weird,
He's
dude.
he's fucking
He's so
super
weird. He went and, like, got the Dalai Lama to, like, bless him and say that he was, like, a official lama or something.
No.
Like, he paid for this shit, and he's like,
Not
all
an
of his
alpaca.
martial arts shit is apparently hella fake. Like, Joe Rogan, a lot of people are like, dude, none of that shit he does is legit. And he's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
a triple black belt. And it's like, that doesn't exist. He's like, well, no, a special sensei master gave it to only 3 people in the world, and I'm one of them. And shit is like,
Yeah.
what?
He like claims to know languages that he doesn't know.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you're just like some fat dude who looks like he works at a bowling alley or a tire changing shop. Like, come on, chill the fuck out. Like, and you've been
Yeah.
in some movies where you karate chop.
Dude, yeah. It's just like, fuck. When you gotta wonder how many people actually do have sex slaves.
Oh, dude, I think Hollywood is mixed. Oh, you know what happened to fucking? It's crazy because like a lot of people become their characters on the show. Like the guy, Kevin Spacey. You know how he got a bunch of allegations for like molesting dudes, and there's like a bunch of famous dudes who are like, yeah, dude, this fool fucking groped me or whatever. But he was molesting underage dudes allegedly, and the dude who was taking him to court just showed up dead.
Really?
Yeah. That was just like a random news story I saw recently, and I'm like, oh, interesting. So the charges are dropped, I guess. So
What?
does he go back to filming a show? Because it's weird how like actors have some of the same protection that high end politicians do with this type of shit.
Yeah, man.
Like it's literally like that Sacha Baron Cohen where he's like, yo, like I just was doing pedophile shit. Can you cover it for me? And the dude's like, yeah, no problem. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Do you have a special pedophile ID card you show? And it's like, they're like, oh, pedo shit's going on here. He's like, no, don't worry, I'm FBI. I do pedo shit and I'm allowed to. It's like, what?
Dude, I mean,
Like,
that's...
I'm in the club, bro. Don't worry. It's like, oh, okay.
It's
my bad.
it's fucking insane. I mean, once you know people aren't gonna prosecute you or go after you,
Oh my god.
you
yeah.
can be open about it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, who cares who's listening?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to jail.
Well, he got
It's like,
arrested
what the
once
fuck?
before, and they made it so like he only had to go in for like a few hours, and he had work release, so he basically just had to go to jail to sleep.
Who? The Epstein?
Epstein, and that was for molesting like underage kids too. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
what the fuck, dude? You couldn't, if you had a gram of weed, you would be done.
Right.
Like, you would not be on work release bullshit where you can leave and come back and shit. Like, are you kidding me? That Dave Chappelle thing about the crack dealer versus the, like, white collar crime dude was so funny.
Oh, the different systems?
Yeah, because, like,
Yeah.
the crack dealer, they come in your house like a SWAT team, shoot your dog, and, like, fucking molest your wife, and then pull you out and shit, and put you in jail instantly before you even try. And then the white collar crime, they, like, call you on the phone, they're like, hey, so you think you could come in maybe 3 o'clock? And he's like, no, not today, I'm busy, maybe tomorrow. And the cop's like, okay, tomorrow works.
Yeah.
And they come in, like, in a suit, all nice, with, like, dignity and shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, this crime was way bigger than the other crime, and this fool has no punishment, and he gets treated like a god, like El Chapo walking into his own private fucking cell.
Dude, that's just the way things are now, which sucks.
But it's weird that happened the first time to Epstein, but this time he goes and gets fucking murked. Right? Like,
Yeah, so he's dead now, huh?
Yeah, how did he get off the first time and not the second time? And then, like, there's a lot of people saying it's Trump. They're like, yeah, Trump is taking him down, and it's like, dude, if he was, I'd be expecting them to have assassination attempts against him, because these people that are going down are fucking part of the club.
What
part of the family.
What year is it? 2019?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd put my money on this is Trump trying to score points for a re-election.
Oh, yeah?
Epstein was the fall guy.
Oh, yeah, that's his Iraq, or whatever. Like,
Epstein's the fall guy. They body doubled him or faked the death or whatever.
and they're like, look, someone finally did something about pedos. Like,
Yeah.
international elite pedo trade that has been, like, public knowledge in the conspiracy world.
Or maybe Epstein pissed some people off and they said, fuck it, we're gonna martyr him.
Yeah.
And they really did arrest him and he really did kill
Well,
himself.
Like, a lot of people said he had a blackmail ring, so, like, that would make a lot of sense.
Right. Maybe he wore out his welcome.
Yeah, or he fucking tried to blackmail the wrong dude. Because, like, his whole island was set up with, like, cameras and shit, so he basically was like a honey trap. Like, he'd bring you there, probably get you all, like, liquored up, and then bring out underage girls, and then when you were off doing shit, even if you thought you were in private, there's, like, 10 cameras in every room there.
Yeah.
So, like, he's like, oh, okay, I hope you had a nice day, and transfer me $50 million before you land and another 50 after you land to this account, or else these videos are going to the Washington Post. And they're like, oh, fuck, this was an expensive trip.
Fuck.
Yeah, or he was doing that, some people say he was doing that for the Mossad. So, like, he was fucking getting people fucking under tow, so, like,
Right.
politicians and shit wouldn't fuck with, like, things that they had going on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But there's, like, signs that he's in both the CIA and the Mossad, like, because he has connections to both of that shit, which is pretty crazy.
Dude, that's all very plausible
Yeah.
and very interesting. Fuck, dude. I don't know enough about it,
Yeah.
but, like, I know enough to know he should have been locked up ages ago, and he's got friends in the political system for sure.